Hey folks, happy Easter. It's the dude in the housecoat, and I'm here to do no real notes, just a little bit of change in my office. You can see I have a new Canadian flag that I really haven't officially put up. I put it over the backdrop of my old CD and DVD Blu-ray collection and a couple of books and stuff. But here we are today. Happy Easter. Bless you all. Positive vibes, the whole 9 yards. Even if you're not a person of the Christian denomination, these salutations and words are meant to be of positivity and, a camaraderie of fellowship, so to speak. It doesn't matter if you're a Hindu, Satanist, or an atheist. The message is universal. It's just to share the love that we all should have for one another. So happy Easter, folks. Yes, yes, yes. And I am not really doing a planned show other than the fact that my family, my mother, and my, new stepfather, I'm number 72. Sorry, Mom, don't mean to bring out all the others. I'm teasing. Barney is a fine, fine man, and I am happy he is a part of my mother's life just like I am happy with Marjorie being a part of my father's life. I am far away from my family. I am basically a drive away, so it's a long ways to go. With my health, I don't like to travel because by the time I get to my destination, I am hurting and bitching. And even though it may be family, you know what it can be like. Anyhow, I love them and I wish them all a happy Easter. Shout out to my brothers and whatnot. And yeah, let's get into it, folks. Yes, it's Easter Sunday. It's been a while since I did a show. I've been trying to, hopefully, I will have a show every 2 days. It'd be nice to do it every day. But in the meantime, top of the afternoon to you, just some old coffee. Gotta have a slurp, folks. Yes, the election in Canada. Isn't it a shit show, folks? I mean, seriously, it is a shit show. And I don't like to swear a whole lot, but yes, what are we doing in Canada? I mean, I'm seeing a lot of unhinged people on the left side, thanks to X, Twitter, whatever. Maybe my algorithm is not showing me the negativity from like the Pierre progressive conservative crowd, but I definitely see a lot of negative from the People Party of Canada, the Bernie Bros, and such. But I do not see a whole lot of retardedness coming out of the Pierre campaign. I am not a Pierre supporter. I am a disgruntled taxpayer. And by that, I mean I am not happy with the way our government is working. I want better governance that helps me as a citizen versus somebody who's in power and he's helping his friends. Kind of like Mark Carney, who parachuted in to help the likes of BlackRock, Brookfield Asset Management, and others to make money off the backs of the taxpayers of Canada. Just recently, they announced a new spending thing that the Liberals were going to do if Mark Carney gets ahead. They had to scrub, folks, take it off the internet for the backlash, like off their social media, for the amount of money that they want to borrow to pay for stuff. We in Canada, after 9+ years of Trudeau economic policy of the balances of the budget will do it themselves. Sorry, it sounded like Yoda, but you know what I mean. The balance does not budget itself, folks. In technicality, yes, every budget is balanced, but only if the deficit and the borrowed money part are still there. If we can't get access to money, then the budget will never be balanced. It will have a deficit that will have economic crisis on Canada. I am not an economist. I'm a dude in a housecoat. I am a jack of all trades, master of none. What I'm saying is I know some stuff and I don't know it all. And that's why I encourage everybody to read and research yourself, folks. It is not a conspiracy theory to read and look into things yourself. It is called reading, intellectual thought process, where you will try and make a determination for yourself of what is the truth instead of having it bombarded to you and you are told it's the absolute truth. We don't question the science. The science is unsettled. Aren't those unsettling words right there, folks? Because the science is never settled, right? Because experiment after experiment, just like to give you an example of eggs, eggs are bad for you, eggs are good for you, eggs are bad for you. The white is good, the yellow's not good. The white and yellow are both good. If you're grass fed, they're even better. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Because every study out there can be skewed to get the outcome they wanted, right? It's the fact, like, I'll go back in history when they said canola oil is safer than cooking in animal fat. Well, there's a huge new industry about to boom, and that's called canola. And in order for it to boom, they got to spread the positivity. And they did skew the evidence, folks. More and more will come out about seed oils, and they already are, and people are waking up. I can't wait for the day where I can actually get beef tallow fries in Canada. Maybe there is a place, I don't know where it is, but I miss deep fried food. Deep fried mushrooms from the Pixie Bar in the Crotus Pass were to die for. Unfortunately, I don't think the Pixie Bar exists anymore, but I love that guy's food. He had an amazing deep fryer. His hamburgers and everything else were quite the extraordinary taste. Yes, I'm going back in history and all that wonderful stuff, and I'm going off on a sidebar here. But let's get back to the election, folks. I mean, 2 million people in Canada already did advanced polling, and that is good. I am happy to see because people need to realize and wake up that this country is in trouble. If you are for the Liberal Party and liking what the Liberal Party is offering, I'm in a state of shock. You must be a government employee or well enough off as a boomer that your property value shot up extraordinarily because of the inflation caused by the government for printing money. You could say what you want about COVID and a whole host of other things, but we printed money left, right, and center. When we had a financial crisis in 2008, that is almost 20 years ago, folks, almost. And what did we do? We did not print the money. We did very little quantitative easing. Again, I am going to say it. I am not an economist, accountant, whatever. I just know stuff, and I'm just sharing some information. And you, as a listener, should get out there and do it for yourself because if you are constantly bombarded by a 15-second soundbite from each different mainstream media news, you are not getting a good picture of the news in this world. Just think of what happened in the recent debates, right? Independent media was allowed into the debates because a rebel news organization has sued for the right to be there, so other independent news agencies showed up. Well, how do I look at it? Because I watched the episode where the gentleman, Stu Benson, if I said his name right, from the Hill, I think it's an Ontario newspaper thing. And what does he do? He's screaming at Alex Bolton, who's an independent media. I think he's with Juno News. He could be completely independent. And they're having a conversation about the Liberal candidate who many years ago had many unkind words to say about the community of the alphabet, the gay community specifically. Not very nice words. He's a Liberal candidate, and this person was going to consider asking Mark Carney, why are you still supporting this candidate in your upcoming election with the Liberal Party, considering the tone and language this person has used in the past? Remember, he did not kick out that person who was saying we should take that other candidate from the other side of the aisle. I guess the guy was a PC candidate, and he was from Hong Kong. And in China, there is a bounty on this man's head because apparently he was pro democracy. He lives in Canada, folks. He has a right to be here if he fled Hong Kong because of the takeover. I don't know all the details, but I'm pretty sure that person is a legal resident of Canada and he's entitled to run in the election. Excuse me, even if he's born outside of Canada. I don't agree with that sentiment that a person that's born outside of Canada should be actually running in a Canadian election, but I digress. I'm not into politics because definitely I would want better governance, like I mentioned before. And I know I'm rambling and I'm going on a tangent and stuff like that, but please, people, you're sitting there trying to tell me that universal health care is a beautiful thing, but I can apply for MAID and get it quicker than I could get my ultrasound. I had an ultrasound appointment in early January to get set up. It is now April, and I had my ultrasound approximately 10 days ago. That's a long time to wait for a health diagnosis of a possible, let's say, hernia, muscle separation, or whatever may be going on in my lower extremity, you know? And that's a long time to wait, but I could apply for MAID and get approved to kill myself because I don't like the pain I'm living in. It's quicker for me to die than to get healthy in Canada. And if I could literally just sell my house to get better health for me and my wife, if it was possible, I'll tell you what, I would sell my house today to have my wife have a perfect back with her tethered spinal cord to heal me of my injury. Because none of my possessions, and the ones that are hiding behind my flag here at the moment, my music collection, I have records, CDs, I have a host of tapes, and you know what? I wish I could have kept them all. And also, I wish I never would have bought any because maybe I'd have a better financial situation if I save more and spend less. And that's what as a country we need to do. We need to save more and spend less because we're deep in the hole. You just listened to what I said about 10 minutes ago or 5 minutes ago. The Liberal Party wants to borrow another couple $100 million to pay for stuff that's not happening. You know, think about what's going on in this country with crime, drugs, and everything else. Home invasions are on an increase, folks. Home invasions. And I'll give you the biggest reason why I think home invasions and crime in general are on the increase because of our lack on crime laws. Our laws are designed to help the criminal versus the victim because the judge has to consider where did he come from, what was his upbringing, did he have a troubled past, were his parents alcoholics, a whole host of things. Was he living on a reserve? Is there cultural sensitivity issues going on? Meanwhile, we have the longest criminal mischief trial where they literally want to confiscate Chris Barber's truck. Big red, beautiful rig. Love you, Chris. Did an awesome job standing up to the government. Same with Tamara Lynch. I have no problem supporting the likes of those two versus the likes of the people that are currently doing the Gaza protest. There may have been a few people I admire in there, and I will give a shout out to Karima Diziad for doing her reporting on all things protest. She is a wonderful lawyer and reporter, and she is due her dues, folks, for what she does. Yes, I may not agree completely with Karima if I said her name correctly, but I honestly like her reporting. I mean, compared to the likes of like another independent person, Steve Boots, I don't mind listening to the guy, but his anti Pierre, his pro woke, and his pro LGBTQ plus thing, you know, the alphabet gang, I am all for you to love whoever you want, but it has to come with a couple of things consent, the other person has to accept it, and also leave the children alone. Adult is forever. Body parts are not interchangeable like Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. It's that simple, right? I mean, I listened to an older woman, and I'm going to say she's 60 plus, a grandmother, talking with a lady, and I don't remember who it was because I'm on X, scroll quickly, check videos, right? Swipe up, swipe down, whatever. And this grandmother says, I fully would support my children or my grandchildren transition. I will be there for them. And then they got on the discussion of tattoos. And the grandmother's like, no, I don't want my children to have tattoos because that's permanent. What? Right? I mean, God Almighty, listen to what this grandmother said. I will fully support my children to switch genders however many times it is, but God forbid that they get a tattoo because it's permanent. Well, I got news for you. There is no real medical procedure to detransition anyone. If you lost your hose, you're not going to get a hose back, folks, right? And if you had a hole and made a hose, that original hose is not coming back. You basically screwed yourself, and I hate to put it that way. I feel for the people that are, detransitioning, positive vibes and all that. I hope you a healthy and better life down the road. And for all those that have transitioned because you think you're the opposite sex, I hope it does work out for you. But please don't hurt anyone else. And that's in general, folks. Be kind to people. Be decent. That's simple. I'm not trying to say the trannies are the bad or whatever. You know what I mean? Exactly. It's just the way it is. I don't really want to talk about those things, but these are subjects that have been brought up in the election, right? I mean, the amount of people that are upset that, oh, they can't talk about Mark Carney's daughter because she transitioned. Well, she was a child when she transitioned at a clinic in the UK that is under fire right now and investigated for rushing people through the procedure. I'm not saying Mark Carney's daughter is not who she should be. I wish her a happy and loving life in what she does. She is free to do that. She is an adult. And from what I gather, she is fine. And then we have people attacking Pierre and his family. And I will say this: Mark Carney and his wife look like a business couple, kind of like Bill and Hillary Clinton. They are married, they have a business venture together, basically, and they do, folks. EuroAsia is Mark Carney's wife's position. Brookfield's asset management is Mr. Carney's stuff, and they are intertwined. If you don't believe me, go look it up. You can even ask an AI assistant and say, is Mark Carney and Diana Fox Carney, even though they're married, how are their business relations intertwined? And you will be amazed. I'm not going to print it up for you, folks. That's one thing I'm going to try and get away from is all the people saying, there's the proof, here's the proof. Gee, look at that over there. See that image? See that person? They're connected. No, I'm not going to do any of that for you because I'm just a dude in a house coat. I am relaying information to you, and I could be wrong. And I'm also on a rant, and I'm talking, and that's perfectly acceptable. It is my opinion. I don't think Mark Carney is good for this country. I'd like to think Pierre P is good for this country because it's most likely he may become the next prime minister, judging from what I've seen on my online interaction on X, Twitter, and from my videos that I've watched on YouTube that are a bunch of different political pundits, whether it is the pleb, Steve Boots, uh, True North News, which is now Juno News, sorry, and the likes of Frank Bond, the likes of Jeremy McKenzie, the likes of the Northern Perspective people, and so on. Even the ones from out of the States, Viva the Fry, Clyde, do something. There's a whole host of people out there. Now, I don't follow a lot of people on the left side because, well, I'm not really a left winger. I'm more of a right winger, politics and stuff like that. But I can't stand the likes of Rachel Gilmore and her gaslighting and her misinformation that she keeps spouting off. The thing that I hate the most about everything that is kind of going on, and I'm almost at my 20-minute mark, and I will try and tidy up here, folks. The point is, I did ramble a lot, but please research, read, look into things. If you are truly supporting the Carney liberals and you have got to think beyond the immediate impact that the media is trying to give you, which is Trump, tariffs, and Carney's demand to save us. He is not the man to save us. Pierre is not the man to save us. You know who can save us, folks? Us. You and I and everyone else. We can save this country. If we vote correctly. Because after this vote, if Carney stays in, I honestly think we will be the first post national state in this world where the world governance wants to start and try and emulate to the rest of the world. Canada is ground zero for this event because the neoliberal world order is dying. Carl Schwab has resigned from the head of the WF. George Soros, NGOs, Open Society, the ones that helped bring in immigration, they helped Canada set up our immigration policies almost a decade ago, folks. All you need to do is research and look it up. Honest to God, just check it out. And here we are today in a country that is supposedly 41 million people, but we can't confirm that because it could be as high as 50 million. And the government, Mark Carney, the people behind him, want to raise our population up to 100 million. And folks, we need to catch up already with housing. Don't get me started on housing. Housing is a private venture. As soon as the government steps in, private corporations stop because they don't like the competition or they go work hand in glove like Mark Carney wants to do with mobile homes and the Brookfield Asset Management Company, which has a division that builds homes, believe it or not. That will also incorporate all the green technology that they want in it that are a part of Brookfield's asset management. You can't make that up. If you vote for Mark Carney, you are going to get a man into power that is going to rule us with an iron fist, who has a temper. Yes, he does. I do not have the book yet. Like I said, I was hopefully going to get the book from the library. It is out. I am currently waiting. Hopefully, I am the next one to read it. But from what I gathered, for somebody that is a banker who praises Karl Marx in his book over 40 times, and that does not talk about the pro-capitalistic people. Maybe once, not can't remember the name of whoever he did, but the fact that he's praising Karl Marx and wants an authoritarian style government to clamp down on society or industry, folks. He has said many things that are chilling compared to Pierre. Now, Jagmeet Singh is a joke, and if you notice, I haven't said anything about him, but now I'm over 20 minutes. Anyways, folks, if Jagmeet's party is toasted, the Green Party is toasted, in my opinion. I think the Bloc Québécois is going to rise up in Quebec again because Mark Carney does not speak good French. And I think Pierre and his team will probably win a lot. My fear is another minor liberal government because of Toronto and like Vancouver and a few other places. I am hoping Mark Carney loses his riding in Nipion. Please, people of Nipion, vote anybody but Carney and all you good people out there. Since I'm running on a little bit of a tangent here, if you have not gone to an SPCA in your life and you don't have a pet, just go once. There might be a furball there that likes you and you will connect. You don't have to adopt, folks. I just hope you go once and positive vibes. And remember, the scone is lit for everyone that has lost a loved one, no matter the reason. Thank you all for your time. And I thank my mom for sending me this lovely, lovely flag. And I will have it up a little better. Just wanted to do a show on a rant. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And hopefully going to make more. This is Housecoat 44. Take care and happy